Hello everyone, this is Siddhartha. Today we'll be discussing push dominoes from today's LeetCode daily challenge series. In this we are given a string which has each element as either an alphabet L or R or a single dot as its element. And what L means is that the specific domino at that present index is being pushed towards left. R signifies that the domino in question is being pushed towards right, and if we have a single dot, then that means that the domino has not been pushed yet and it's stable right now. So we are to find as to what will be the final condition in which the dominoes will be, right? So we can take an example. So let's take this very example. We have a right pointer that just goes to say that if we have any domino that is actually, you know, being pushed towards the right direction or not. If it's equals to -1, then that just goes to say that there is no domino behind our current index that is being pushed towards the right direction. If it's not equals to -1, then it will be pointing towards the index where we have a domino that is being pushed towards the right direction. So what we see here is that if I were to iterate through my given string from the beginning, if I ever come across an index that has nothing, it's just a single dot. Here dots I have represented with blanks, so I guess you'll understand. So if I were to come across a blank, then I'll just move forward. I will not care for that. So my pointer is at a position where I have an element L. So that goes to say that this specific domino will be pushed towards the left. Now I need to check if there is any domino that is being pushed towards the right behind it. So how can I check that? I have a check for that in the form of right, my right variable. Since its value is still -1, that means that there is nothing behind this very domino that is being pushed towards the right. So what I'll do is I will iterate through this very starting position, and I'll go till I, and I will fill up all the values that are empty right now, and I'll fill them up by L itself, because since this will be falling towards left, it will make this domino fall towards left as well. Now I'll move forward. Since I'll come across another position which is empty, so I'll just move forward. Remember, empty just goes to say that there is a single dot here. Now I'll come across a position which holds R. So now I'll see if my right variable, what does this have to say? Is it still saying -1, or does it have any index value? So I'll see that it still says -1. That means there is no R domino behind this very Rth domino or R domino. So what I mean to say is, since there will be no domino behind it that is already being pushed towards right, so this will be my first domino that is being actually pushed towards right. So I will update my right variable's value with this index, that is I. So my right will now contain the value 3. That means, so let's write right here. So right is pointing towards 3 right now. Alright. Now I'll just keep on moving forward. I'll move my eye forward. It is empty, so I'll move forward yet again, and this again is empty. Now I come across a position which holds the value L. Since I told you if I were to ever come across any position which holds left or right, then I'll just first, at the very first place, I'll check what does my right variable say. Now my right variable says that, see, there is a domino that is being pushed towards right behind it. So if I were to talk about real life condition, if I have a domino that is being pushed towards right and there are few dominoes between it, and there is another domino that is being pushed towards left. So if they were to be pushed simultaneously, we know that this impact and this impact will happen at the same time. So this has to fall towards right and this one has to fall towards left. There is an even number of dominoes between the two of these extreme dominoes, right? So they have to fall in the same fashion. But if there were to be some odd number of dominoes between these, so if I were to have the same dominoes, one being pushed towards right and another being pushed towards left, and if I were to have just a single domino between the two of these, which is an odd number of domino between these two extreme dominoes, so what will happen is, in real life as well, this will exert force on this one and this again will exert force on this one. So this will not choose any direction, this will stay in its very own place. So this will remain empty, or in a sense this will remain stable, this will stand upright. So now I see that I have the same condition. I have at a previous location I have domino that is being pushed towards right, and currently I came across a domino that is being pushed towards left. So what I'll do is I'll iterate from my this very right index and I'll move forward, and from my left, my pointer I that is pointing towards a position that contains L, I'll move towards left, and from right I'll move towards right, and simultaneously I will fill these up in these common values like we discussed before. So since right makes right and left makes left, so in this case right will make this position as right, this domino fall towards the right direction, and this will make this domino fall towards the left direction. And since, like in this condition we discussed, if there are an odd number of domino, then the one in between will remain stable, cannot fall into either of the direction. So this will remain the same. So after we are done with this, what we'll do is we'll just put the value -1 back again to our right variable, and then we'll just move forward. So now I'll see that I came across a position which holds R. Now I need to update my right variable yet again. I need to update its position with my current I. So my current I is pointing towards 8. So I'll write right here again. It's pointing towards 8 right now. So I'll move forward. I come across an empty space. I move forward. Yet again the same. And then it's the same condition. I came across a position which has a left side falling domino. So what I'll have is I'll just move forward. I'll iterate through this very position and this very position towards left, and from here towards right, and I'll fill up these respective values. This will become right and this will become left. Now what I'll do is I'll make my right variable point to -1 yet again. Now I'll move forward. Since this is an empty space and this is an empty space, so we'll be done with our string, and this should be our answer. So yeah, So there is another case in which if I were to have a condition in which my right variable does not hold the value -1 in the end. So what does that mean is that I have another position which holds a right domino somewhere around the end. Since I'm always since I'm always initializing its value, reinitializing its value to -1 after every such condition. That means since it's not -1 in this case, that means I have a position in the end someplace where it holds a domino which is right facing. Also, if I were to have this kind of condition, so in this very condition what we'll do is we'll just fill up the remaining values with r as well, because since it's falling towards right, we'll just make all of them fall towards right. But if I were to come across a condition where I have another r, so in this we are aware that my right variable will start with -1, my I will start at 0. So yeah, since this is empty, I'll just move forward. My I came across a position which holds a domino that is falling towards right. I'll update my right variable with this ith value, that is in this case 1. And now what I'll do is, so yeah, after updating the right variable with this very position, I will move forward. See, this just goes to say that I have a domino that is falling towards right, that is behind the very position that I am currently at, right? So since this is empty, I'll move forward, and since this is empty as well, I'll just move forward. So if I ever come across a position that holds the value r and the right variable is not -1, it is something else, it is another index. So what I'll do is I will just fill up the very indices between these two positions with r. As simple as that. Now let's jump to the code. So I need to have a right variable which will keep check if I have a domino behind my very position, my current position, that is falling towards right or not. And I need to have a string res as well. Now I'll just iterate through my given string. Now I need to check if my current element is a single dot. If that's so, then I'll just continue. So if that's not the case, then I might have a position in which I have a domino that is being pushed towards left. In that case, I need to check if my right variable is -1 or not, right? So what will happen if it is -1? All I need to do is I need to just iterate through my very first element till the position that I'm at. So I can do it either way. I'll do it in this way. I'll start from my index right behind the one that I'm standing at, and I'll just move backwards. What I'll do is I also need to check for this condition that the given position should actually be empty, should actually contain a stable domino that can actually be pushed towards left. So I will fill these up. Now, so in this condition, I know that I do have a domino that is falling towards. So that's the case. What I need to do is I need to run a for loop in which I need to move through all the indices between these two dominoes, and I need to fill up them according to the values. The values that are closer to the ones will contain the same value, and the one in the between will actually remain stable. So that can be written as so after we'll be done with filling up all these values. What I need to do is I need to reassign right to -1. After I'm done with this, I need to check if my pointer is currently pointing towards position which holds the value R. If that's the case, I need to check if my right is actually equals to -1 or not. If it is, then what I need to do is I just need to, or actually I can just first of all write it for a condition where it's not equals to -1. Then I just need to run a for loop for filling up all the values in between where the value are. If that's the case, then J++, and in the other case what I'm doing is I'm just putting right's value to this, so it's fine either way. So after we are done with this, I just need to check if my right variable is not equals to a -1. If that's the case, then I just need to run a loop from till the very end of my string. And that will be equated to R. After that, I just need to return my string. Let's try to run it. Okay, it's working fine, and now let's just submit it. So it's running perfectly fine, and I hope you guys liked the video, and if you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll definitely catch you in the next one.